what's going on? It's your boy Brandon Berg, man. Just kicking it with you guys on this Monday. Summer, spring break is jumping off, so a lot of kids, a lot of students is off for the week. College I think is 2 weeks, high school is 1 week. But yeah, I want to really jump into it. We had a terrorist attack in Austin, Texas today. Packages, suspicious package leaving in people's houses, and exploding. So, two is dead, one is injured, but it was three bombings. So basically, it was three separate bombings, um, in the same area, same city, and maybe different time spans. I think the first bombing was like the second, and I think this two was like, I think the last bombing was just happened. There was two bombings today, in Austin. So it's definitely, yes, the police even said race is a factor. Uh, um, it wasn't random. It was random for people wild, but it wasn't a random attack. The primary target is black people, and that's all. All the target, and confirm the target they need to be. They're black people. So these are now becoming very, um, upfront assaults now. And the thing about it is more guerrilla. It's a um, guerrilla style type of approach that they're doing committing these acts. And black people need to be aware. This is in a Trump era. White supremacy took a very powerful position in American society, and through the history of this country, black people always been an enemy of the state. Um, a lot of people had to stand up and lost their life because of it. But this generation, me, new generation, old generation, we have to take an account to this, that it's going to get a whole lot worse before it gets any better. And those three bombings in Austin can happen anywhere else, especially in black areas, anywhere else. So you have to take account, man, that, things is not looking for the better. They're already making moves. Um, but yeah, it definitely, is linked. I don't think they're gonna really get any answers. They can. I mean, if you could look up what's the remains of the bomb, the material, or something like that, you can kind of trace it. But I don't know, the police is gonna really go in full detail and investigate it, um, thoroughly to get to the bottom of it. They might just gloss over it, and they'll just probably just put it into unsolved category, or like it's still investigated, category, or something like that. But yeah, man, the black people, man, just be alert. Be very alert. Right now, they're making moves, and as you see, they're getting very creative and killing us. So, um, definitely, be very, very aware. The one thing about white extremists, or dangerous white supremacists, they like to kill in cowardness. So you have to probably be very alert, very aware, very, knowledge in what their tactic or method they might do to harm us. So just be aware of that. I definitely want to shout out. I'll be reading up on courts. They did a special, with the Black Panther reaching over 1 billion. They talked about China. China was kind of very uneasy, um, welcoming them on the movie. I mean, it still sold over 63 million over there, and relatively that's pretty good, especially for a black, dominant, film. Basically, of a casting wise, it was very black dominant, very African themed dominance. The thing that was a lot of racial rumbling over it, because they deemed this too black for them. They didn't see enough white people in there to really feel like this was a just movie to them. And this is the mindset of a lot of Chinese and a lot of Asian people, um, especially doing, the thing was what I need to understand, you know, Africa got the resources. Asia and China do not have much resource. You know what I'm saying? So they need our resource. You can do business with them, but do not sign your life away to them. You know what I'm saying? Money ain't nothing. Their money ain't nothing to a resource. You can say we're not selling. You know what I'm saying? We ain't selling. We might have to go to war for it. Cause they'll go to war. I mean, they feel they really need it. They'll go to war. You know what I'm saying? But they're just using a different approach of taking the resource. Um, so definitely a lot of Africans gotta be aware. You know, Chinese don't really respect or like you guys. I mean, they have a very disrespect view and opinion over black people and African people. Just any actually a generalization of very just black melanin people. Period. They have a very racial, objected opinion over black people. You know what I'm saying? Now they like the culture. They're very intrigued with the culture because most of our culture influenced them. But an irrational thing, they don't respect. They do not respect black people. You know what I'm saying? Um, they view us as like, oh, that's a big brother type deal. They view us like, you know, they like black culture because it's kind of the validation to it's easy to be accepted into another culture than versus other culture. But in a big scheme, bigger picture, they still don't respect you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe several hundred years ago, there was a huge respect towards African black people. You know what I'm saying? But that was before the European uh, colonizations and arrival into that part of Asia. That changed the thinking and the views and opinions of African people and black people. So, um, you know, a lot of, like I said, when they of Asians and something like that, Asians are one of the most closest allies to white supremacy. Because you know, even a lot of people say they don't like them, they still um, they still embellish white supremacy. They still uphold somewhat of white supremacy. I mean, they understand that white supremacy is sometimes against them, but they're like the closest racial group to white people and of a certain type of agendas. So you just gotta understand that part. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, but that that was a story. They said it was too black, and they really could understand how black people could be in such a powerful status. Almost like it's a yellow. You know, I always told people, Asians like Chinese and Japanese and etc. There is a view to them. Not all Asians, but some. They have a view of white supremacy and replacing that with Asian supremacy, and that's a very big deal. That's a very important thing that you need to understand. Yeah, they will fight against white supremacy, but they might want to replace that supremacy with a similar system of their own while they're in the command seat. So definitely keep your eyes open, and you know, like I said, do business with them, but always control the narrative and the deal to make sure it's in your favor. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what it is. Hopefully, African will, is doing that right now with them. Hopefully. But yeah, man, just like I said, everybody in Austin, man, my prayers go to you. All the black people in Austin, my prayers go to you. And generally, black people everywhere, just be safe. I'm gonna drop another video, but a little bit later, and I'll drop the comment below so you guys can read the stories on it, and just get your take on it. All right, one.